So when I first moved to Atlanta, I didn't know nobody but one person, which was my uncle, my great uncle on my dad's side. So I had already contacted him previously when I knew I was going to graduate and move from Detroit, and asked him, could I come stay with him? I didn't really know nothing about Atlanta, so I didn't know the areas, how far, which areas is away from Atlanta, the middle of town, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, it's Atlanta, it's Georgia. Everything is Atlanta. Everything's Atlanta. Even the outskirts cities, everything's Atlanta, right? So I get down here. This man lives in Noonan. I already had a job lined up. When I was in Detroit, they called me, so I was gonna be driving for Krispy Kreme, delivering their donuts to grocery stores, right? The Krispy Kreme job was in Norcross. So if you're from Atlanta, you know the areas I'm talking about. Krispy Kreme is in Norcross. I live in Noonan. This is like an hour and a half away from each other. I'm not knowing that. I'm thinking it's like 20, 30 minutes away. Everything's Atlanta to me at this point. So once I realized that, I'm like, oh, Lord. And I had brought this. It was like $1,000. I had bought it in Detroit because I had crashed my Monte Carlo. I bought this $1,000 1999 Oldsmobile. That's what I had to drive an hour and a half every day, back and forth, from Noonan to Norcross. But the good thing was it was third shift. So it was no traffic whenever I was driving. I just had an old ass car. Had to drive 3 hours every day. But, so I'm trying to save up to move out, right? So I'm driving the Krispy Kreme job, but Krispy Kreme is from like midnight to 9 in the morning. So I still got my whole day to make some more money. So this is when I start driving Uber. But my car is 1999, so it's too old to pick up people, because, you know, Atlanta wants you to have a newer car when you're picking up their citizens or they residents, I should say. So I could do Uber Eats. Mind you, I had this car, I bought it in Detroit. I probably had it for like, I want to say like 2 or 3 months I had this car, right? Mind you, I know what I was doing, so I never took this car to get an oil change. All I did was drive it and put gas in it for 2 to 3 months, and then towed it with the U-Haul to Atlanta. So I drove this car for about 2 months once I got here in Atlanta, so that's like 5 months altogether. When I tell you I was doing an Uber Eats delivery in like Midtown, the car just cut off. Why have somebody food in my car? The car just cut off. I'm trying to start it. It started cutting off while I was driving, so I turned it into like this company parking lot, and it just died. I don't know what's wrong. I'm trying to start it, nothing's working. Somebody like, oh, maybe put some coolant in it or something. Put some coolant in it, not working, not starting. I'm like, all right, skip it. So I'm like, I could never not complete an order when I'm delivering Uber Eats. So I'm like, do I just tell them I can't deliver their food, but I keep it? Like, how does this work? So I was like, all right, I'm only like 2 minutes away. I still gotta wait for my uncle to come pick me up. So I'll just walk and get these people their food. It turned out to be some girl working at a salon. So then they see me just walk up to the door out of nowhere. They ain't see me get out no car. So she was like, where your car? I was like, man, that thing died. She's like, what? Everybody and someone like, oh my God, do you need a ride? I'm like, man, if you knew where I had to go, you ain't gonna give me no ride no hour away. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'm finna get an Uber. So then my uncle come and pick me up. And then I got a car from Toro. So I just drove the car from Toro for like a week and a half while I was looking for a new car to buy. But after like the first week of driving the car from Toro, I was like, it ain't no way. I don't know what's wrong with it. So I called a Cash for Cars number. I called like 5 of them and just went with the person that gave me the most money, which was like $180 for the car. So I was like, all right, it's here. They like, all right, you got a title? I don't think I had the title. You got the title? I was like, no, I don't got the title. So they was like, all right, we'll just need proof that you own it. It's like, all right, I got a bill of sale. That's about all I got. So I met up with the Cash for Cars dude and sold it to him. All right, so now I got to get a new car, which I ended up getting a Honda Accord, like 2005 Honda Accord.